What's going on, guys? Jacoborth back here with another video of Jacob's Life in Vegas, talking to you guys today about something that I think some of you are going to find a lot of joy in. Some of you are going to find some joy in this. A lot of you are going to find some, maybe some satisfaction hearing this. I'm telling you guys about this on this bright day here in August. Man, the sun is bright right now. But I want to give you guys some news about why right now in 2018, this might be the best time to come visit Las Vegas. This might be the best time right now to actually book your vacation or book a trip out here between now and the end of the year. I'll actually have a link down below. You guys can go through Vegas.com and see some of the most recent deals that are taking place right now. Because here's some news that has come about that is not entirely shocking to me. Maybe came a little sooner than I thought, but some of you, we've talked about this in the channel before. Some of you in the comments section have discussed your feelings about this, and a few of you actually mentioned this. So some of you are really keeping up to date on like Vegas travel and Vegas news, and that's pretty good because some of you have mentioned this in the comments sections in the previous few videos I did when I talked about like what I think will happen in the next recession for Las Vegas. I talked about this, somebody mentioned it, and then someone had also mentioned it, I think in another video I did where I was talking about just, the resort fee insanity right here in Las Vegas. And some people had mentioned this. Las Vegas hotels recently, as of within the last week or so, have actually reduced a lot of their prices. And that's kind of interesting because in the summertime, usually the area here, Vegas does well in the summertime with tourism because there's maybe not as many businesses who come for like big conferences, but there's a lot of families, a lot of, college-age people come during the summertime because the kids are out of school. So usually, hospitality, tourism does well here in Vegas in the summertime, but that has not been the case this summer. I'm going to summarize some of this, and I'm going to read some pieces from an article. This is from Forbes. I'll put the link to this article down below too. This article, listen to the title of this. Casinos are getting nervous as Las Vegas revenues drop and their stocks slump. This is from about a week ago. I think this was August 6th. This article came out, and it just talks about how, Caesars and MGM both reported soft numbers in the second quarter, and they're expecting more headwinds here in the third quarter. So earlier the year started off pretty well in terms of hospitality and tourism here. The numbers are looking well for a lot of the resorts. Second quarter, not so much, and third quarter is not looking great either, which is why a lot of these places are dropping their price right now, trying to encourage people to come here. Let's see. The revenue per available room was down 4% on the Strip overall. Convention attendance is only down by about 3%. But that's kind of a big deal, though, to these resorts because the convention crowd, even though they don't gamble a whole lot, they don't gamble as much as other tourists, they spend a lot more money on their rooms, like getting suites, and on dining, which makes sense because you're here for convention, you're here for business, and you may have clients you're trying to take out, you may have to do meetings in your room, you're going to take them out to a nice dinner, like you want to present a good image, so you're going to spend money on those things. So that makes sense. So convention money being down definitely hurts this area, especially because some place like the Mandalay Bay and the Las Vegas Convention Center, they're doing expansions to try to get more of the convention crowd because they tend to spend a good amount of money when they're here. So that money is down. So convention money is down. Let's see, revenue per available room is down. Wall Street greeted the news of the Strip struggles with concern as casino stocks fell by as much as 24%. There are fears that Las Vegas has finally pushed its luck too far. For nearly all Americans, there are now places to gamble that are much closer than Las Vegas, which is why the city's resorts have reinvented themselves as places to eat, drink, shop, and occasionally gamble. So the industry and shareholders have made peace with this. They're essentially fine knowing that, gambling is going to be a smaller piece of the overall profit. It's no longer, like the monopoly of gambling. Vegas is no longer the monopoly of gambling for the country. But recent news that both visitation and earnings are down has thrown a scare into investors. This next part here is pretty good. Many observers have been quick to blame the increased resort fees, paid parking, worse game odds, and other nickel and dime tactics that have become common on the Strip. While each factor increased revenue in the short term, it is possible that the incremental changes and inconveniences have eroded the value proposition of Las Vegas vacation for many people who loved visiting the city. It's exactly what so many of you have expressed in the comments. This video, that was one of the things I said back, like in the springtime, talking about parking fees, resort fees, how it's definitely going to get them more money. People are paying for it, but obviously there's a chance that you really end up, upsetting a lot of people, and they end up choosing not to stay home. They only are choosing not to come to Vegas and just stay home instead, or they go spend their money elsewhere on a vacation. So you do that enough, enough people do that, it's going to have an impact, and it looks like that might be what we're seeing right here. Who knows how long this will go, how long this will go on, but that's, really what it looks like. Let's see. It also says just hard to gauge how big of an individual impact these fees have had. It's hard to imagine that these fees have helped attract people. I can believe that. Let's see. Yeah, nickel and diming hasn't helped. There's also some concern of a trade war with China because, Vegas tries to reach a lot of, international travelers, because international travelers, just like the business crowd, they tend to spend more money when they're here. So Vegas for years has tried to work towards, getting like a lot of the high rollers from China, even middle class, a burgeoning, rising middle class in China, trying to get them to come here to Vegas, to gamble. And they're concerned if there's some kind of trade war, that's obviously going to hurt the area even more. Let's see. Article also mentions, Vegas has been through tough times before. One thing that some resort operators pointed out, I think this is a good point, is that, the T-Mobile Arena is, one of the newer, venues here. And obviously the Vegas Golden Knights having such a great inaugural season got a lot of attention, brought a lot of people to this town. And the fact there's not a whole lot of events going on right now over there, that does obviously have an impact, that there, is not as many events taking place. So that probably has had some effect, on the revenue here. So that's understandable. But listen to this part. Okay, this is where it gets interesting. So something I've talked about before, where I've said, Vegas, remember, coming to Vegas is a luxury, right? This is not like buying diapers for your kids or buying food to feed yourself, your family. Like, when times are tough, people are not going to be coming to Vegas. They don't have as much money. They always have to buy food, right? They always have to have something to eat. But, you don't go on vacation as much when your money's tight. So you cut back on your trips to places like right here. So listen to this part, though. What makes this summer softness a surprise is that it bucks historical trends. In the past, lower unemployment and higher consumer confidence have translated into higher earnings for Las Vegas casinos. Makes sense, right? Economy does well nationally, Vegas does well, people have money to spend. Nationally, unemployment has fallen to 3.9%. We're under 4% unemployment in this country right now. And consumer confidence is as high as it has been since the recession. On paper, Las Vegas should be booming, but this summer has been a difficult one. So as I said, that totally goes against the normal trend that people have money to spend, they're coming here. This totally goes against that normal trend right now that we're seeing. And here's the response. Is some places have already taken notice and they've already made changes because, they essentially feel like they have to now. Casino operators have already begun to respond to the slowdown. Both Caesars and MGM have lowered room rates. Wynn Resorts has started validating its parking. Let's see, conference calls, investment community executives, they have cautioned the next few months will be volatile, but they reaffirm their faith that many investments that have transformed the Strip over the past few years, that they have faith in those investments. Still, lowering room rates is evidence that there are real worries about keeping hotels full. I think that is a great line to end this, to help close this article out, because it's true. I think one thing people sometimes forget with economics, right? I enjoy, doing some of these economic talks. A lot of you enjoy, and I like hearing your opinions, people chiming in on it. One of the biggest things to remember about economics, or trying to figure out what's going to happen with the economy, really what you're doing in a lot of ways, you're predicting human behavior. You're predicting what people are going to do. So, that's what happens. Like, the economy is made up, the market is made up of people like you and me and how we spend our money and what we choose to do with it, right? That's the marketplace, So, like right now, if you bring the price up too high, the marketplace, meaning people, your tourists, your customers, if they stop coming, you're going to know, because suddenly you're not going to have as much revenue because your prices are high, and people say they're just saying, hey, I'm not paying that price to come there. So they don't want to pay it, so they're letting you know, hey, this is too high. I'm not paying to come to Vegas. I'm not paying to come and gamble or do whatever else, So that's what, the casinos are feeling right now. That's what they're noticing, that people are saying, I'm not coming. Like, I don't want to pay these resort fees. I don't want to pay to park when I come here. I don't want to, be here and have worse gaming odds. I'm playing, now I'm playing 6-5 blackjack instead of 3-2 blackjack and stuff like that. There's a lot of things that have been going on. A lot of people are not happy with in this city. And that's just the effect they're having. So, is this going to bury Vegas? Nah, not at all. It won't. Vegas, one thing about this place, people I know greed is a word that's been thrown around a lot of these casino operators, in these hotels. But one thing these people are not is they are not stupid, okay? I mean, with gambling getting legalized so much around the country, that's why this place, Vegas doesn't have the monopoly on gambling. So what do? They follow the money and they move somewhere else. They move the direction of the convention crowd. That's something that's been popular, Nightlife is something that Vegas didn't really have much years ago. They didn't have big nightclubs in these hotels, casinos. There's a whole bunch of money that comes from nightlife, so they focus on that. Like this city and that street right there behind me will follow the money. If there's money to be made going in a different direction for hospitality and tourism, they will follow it. They are not married to gambling. They're not married to just one revenue source. They will go other directions to make money what they can from other sources. So they will adjust. This city will adjust. People in tourism and hospitality, they've been doing this for a long time. They will adjust to whatever the marketplace, to whatever, the consumer, the client, the individuals that come to Vegas, whatever their behavior is changing to, they will adjust. This city will adjust to that. But it's just interesting to note, to see the changes that are happening and, just see kind of like people already are pushing back big time. The casinos are taking notice and they're making some changes of their own. So if you guys want to come to Vegas, man, now is a great time. I mean, with the reduced prices, now here, some schools, a lot of them are not even back into session yet. So I mean, this is like, early August I'm making this. Throughout August, people are starting to go back to school. But in summertime, I mean, usually they don't start dropping prices like this. September, October, beautiful months to come to Vegas. Beautiful. The weather's still warm if you can go swimming out here. It's warm enough during the day. At night, it's still warm, but it's not super hot. Even in November, you can still go swimming. When I did the video of the Mandalay Bay pool that I'll link up here that I did, that was, I think, like first week of November or something like that. It was still nice enough to go swimming out here. I mean, even November is nice when you come because the room rates are down now, which is good for you, the traveler, right? They're bringing it down to entice people to come back because really once the holidays hit, like November, December, Thanksgiving, all that time, that is like the slowest time of year in Vegas. So they're already dropping prices now, to try to get people to come here, at the end of the summer and into the fall. And then they're going to drop even more once we hit the holidays. That's just, what happens here. It's just the slowest time of year, the holiday season in Vegas. So from now really to the end of the year, you can score a lot of really good deals if you're planning to come to Vegas and stay on the strip or even off the strip or come see certain shows or whatever the case is. You can score some deals because things are slowing down because people are responding to all these high fees and all these other things that they don't like that are taking place. So link down below. If you guys want to book a trip, it's at vegas.com. You can check out all the prices there for different hotels, see what's available over there. And you guys plan to come on vacation here or you're going to move here, you need some help, you want to talk to me, link down below on Clarity as well. You can sign up to talk with me one-on-one. And then also if you want to support me over on Patreon, got content over there that I do not release here on the channel and other videos that I'm going to be putting over there. Sometimes I put them on early before I put them on here on the channel, so you can get stuff early over there. That's going to be it for this video, guys. Thanks for watching. Tell me what you think down in the comments below. I'm Jacob. This is My Life in Vegas.